Hello, I'm Reverend Dr. Lorenzo James, and I welcome you to this presentation of Tell Me Your Story. I'm honored to have as our guest today uh, a man who's dear to my heart, uh, Reverend Tony Polion. Uh, he's my brother, but he's more than my brother. He's a man with a mission and a purpose, and I just want us to be able to hear his story of his commitment to others and how God has used him. Let me just tell you a little bit of background about him. Uh, he has been a good communicator in our community. He's a talented person with musical abilities. He worked well with choirs and church folks and stuff like that. But I think what set him apart is his commitment to helping people to grasp their ability to deal with emotions and their emotional conflict. One of the many things he does there is that he has a son uh, that he's aptly named True. And True is is a person born with
Autism. Yeah.
autism.
Yeah.
Autism, and his form of autism does not allow him to be able to speak. And Tony has not shied away from caring for him and presenting him in a way that even though he's not communicating with others as we do, he knows that he's loved and cared for. Enough about what I'm saying. Let us hear Tony in his own word. Tell us your story, Tony.
So first, I want to say thank you, big brother.
All right.
So our mom calls him Alpha and me Omega, and I've always enjoyed that, and I enjoy being the baby of the family. So I'm the youngest of eight, and it feels really good to be with my big brother. And my life story has been I don't know how to describe it, but I'm happy with it in all of the peaks and the valleys. I've learned a lot from it, and so I'm hoping you can pull some of this out of me because there's so much to share. But I guess just starting early in life, man, we're from such a loving big family. Our cousins and our uncles, they're like brothers. We're from a family that just embraces love easily. We don't search for the negative in people. We actually prove it's our uh, default setting to just appreciate love from people and to share that love with people. And so I'm really really happy about being a part of a family like this.
Well, recently you've been almost like on a speaking circuit,
Yeah,
dealing with mental health, talking to men
yeah.
about mental health. Tell us about how you got to that part of your journey and what the impact of it has been to you and the audience that you've spoken with.
Oh, man, thank you for that question. So for me, my plan was to do public speaking. I had no idea that there would be this big pivot after uh, one of my friends took his own life. And it caused me to start to do research, and I discovered that these types of incidents are tragically common. So it became clear to me that this real men don't culture is destroying the lives of most of the men that you know, regardless if those men know it or not, because men have been taught to internalize their feelings. And if you show any type of feeling, you're not a man. And so it's been my goal to help destroy that the real men don't culture. And so I share these stories as I go, including one with one of my uncles. My uncle Bruce is this tough guy, he doesn't hesitate to fight or back down. But when my aunt Nell passed away, I saw this guy who is this tough, strong guy shed tears. And I knew then as a little boy that you don't lose your masculinity by sharing your emotions. And so that's what I try to share, big brother. That's what
So, what has been the response or some of the responses and the audience that you've spoken with?
actually, it's I didn't expect this, but when we've been inside of these workshops that I do, I know that I've managed to uh, reach these people, and it's resonating inside of their hearts when men start to share tears. They start to share their stories, and they ask me for additional information, and they're open to what I'm sharing, and it just means a lot. So that's been the feedback. They're asking for more. They want to know what's the next step. What can I do to help improve my life? What about my son and my grandson? And it really feels good to me to know that it's resonating.
Well, Vision for a City is designed to help people to uh, promote their dreams. So tell us about what's your dream. What is it that you want your life to express? That one day you won't be here, but while you're here, you will have been left this message about your dream, and so people come behind you will know that you had a dream and that you were willing to work toward that dream.
I don't know how it sounds, but big brother, it is this is something I often think about. Tony, what is it that would make you feel like you accomplished what you were supposed to? Of course, it's been a husband and a dad, for my children to be able to say, you know, my dad loved the Lord. My dad did his best to teach me how to love the Lord and to be a great citizen. And for me personally, uh, having an opportunity to reach the globe, being transformative, having a global reach, and having an impact in the lives of people so that they change their lives and lead a life that's more pleasing to God. That that would feel good. If someone could say that at my funeral, he accomplished that, then hey, I'd probably give him a high five from the casket.
Well, you have been a person who have achieved a lot. As a young man, you and one of our brothers were into martial arts, in which allowed you to go all over the world. You could compete in tournaments. Tell us a little bit about that.
You know, big brother. So I have a funny story here. So we started to travel. Well, I started competing at 12 years old. Lost the second tournament. Lost the first tournament, and normally you would give up, but I didn't, and I continued to practice and won several local championships and then state championships, and then I became a nationally ranked competitor, number four, then number two, and then my brother and I joined the USA karate team where we're able to represent the United States in international competitions. Well, initially, I haven't always been as close to the Lord. I thought that, these languages are easy to learn and maybe I'm supposed to meet girls. And that's why it's funny because my big brother is here. But it wasn't until we got back from a trip in Australia and I saw a video of my behavior and it that I realized that I really needed to change my approach and that what God was allowing me to do by learning languages easily and building these relationships globally, but he was allowing me to do that so that I can have this impact later on in life, which is what's happening now. I'm able to leverage those relationships today to have this global impact that my platform is building.
Well, I know you've done a lot with your life. Tell us a little bit more about True before we conclude our interview here.
So my son True, he's my youngest son of my four sons, and I want to be um, careful. True is not more important than my other children. They're all equally important. True is a 12-year-old who has special needs, and sometimes he needs his dad a little bit more than a neurotypical child would. He's faced a lot of challenges in his life, and for him, it's difficult because he's nonverbal, so he has to come up with creative ways to express himself, or make requests, or tell you that he's feeling bad, and sometimes those things are inappropriate. He's 12, so they would have been inappropriate anyway. But when you add all of these things on top of it, it just kind of compounds his experience. And sometimes it's a little tough. So for me, I've had to make a decision on what's most important. What's most important. And for me, what's most important is the impact that I can have in his life now so that he can be a productive citizen as he grows. And, I have three girls that are amazing girls. They're very bright and they're just they're powerful women. My 8-year old, she's 8 years old today. I asked her, I said, so how do you feel about the possibility of having a female Black president? And she said, well, Dad, let's clear something up. That's not the question you should be asking. The question you should be asking is, why did it take so long? I said, okay, she's right along with the other two girls. And they're strong, but they're also very loving to my son, True. They all embrace him. They understand what's going on. And so even though people see me working with True publicly, his siblings also love on him and make his life a higher quality.
Well, I appreciate you sharing your story with us. As a concluding statement, is there anything that you would say about your life that you would like to hang your hat on?
Oh, hey, oh man. I guess I would say that again that I'm so grateful to have the parents that God blessed me with. You don't get a chance to choose your parents. I have a very creative dad who passed away when I was 10 years old, who was a loving man, who had his flaws just like all of us, and have an amazing mom who knew how to raise these kids, knew how to raise all of us, and keep the positive things going on in life. And so I guess the thing I would hang my hat on is something that I have no control over. I was born into what I call excellence, an amazing family, great brothers, and I'm very happy about that.
Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, you've heard a story today of faith, love, and commitment. Tony has told us his story. Who will be next to tell this story?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank
God
you.
bless.